Let's go today. We're talking about the no money mindset, 5 signs that your mindset is costing you cash. Again, I believe wholeheartedly. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning, Tasha. Good morning, Paul. Appreciate you guys. I believe wholeheartedly that every entrepreneur faces certain levels of mindset challenges along your entrepreneurial journey. There are things that you gotta work through. You know, as you grow in your business, as you grow up in your entrepreneurship, there's going to be, things that you work through. You get sound, you get solid in a certain season, and then you're going to experience some new challenges, some new goals that you're going to pursue. And usually as you level up, you got to level up your mind with it. So I think your mind is always something you're going to be working on. But there are some very specific mindset challenges that I believe entrepreneurs deal with that specifically tie to your ability to earn income. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today, these 5 things that I think are little monsters. We want to eradicate these things from your brain so you can get out there, do what you're called to do, and make money doing so. All right? I also believe this, y'all, and I'll just set you up with this. Those guys are taking notes. I would love for you to write this down. There is no level of training. There is no level of support. There's no level of coaching or guidance or resources or tools that can take you beyond your belief system. Your belief system is the foundation of your brand and the foundation of your business. And whatever goes on between your ears will manifest in your world and will manifest in your business. So this is crucial because we can talk strategy all day long. I can give you tools and tips and strategies and processes and ways to go out and attract and build and acquire. But if you don't believe it, if there's things wrong up here, you can try all the strategy in the world and it just will not happen. It just will not happen. And some of you guys may find yourself there where you feel like you've built all the things, you've got the strategy, you got the plan, you're implementing, and you're doing what you believe is all the right things, but you're still hitting a wall when it comes to the increase. And for some reason, you can't just seem to get past that wall that's blocking you from your increase. There's a mindset block there. So let's just unpack it today. Kathy, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming in. Everybody give me a cheers and good morning in the chat stream. Well, I want to see all your faces, make sure everybody's awake and paying attention. Nobody's cooking pancakes. Nobody's making a burrito. Nobody's doing your hair. You're listening, paying attention. I mean, you might be doing your hair, but I want you to pay attention. Because if your hands are busy, you're not taking notes. And if you're not taking notes, you are not going to capture nearly enough of what I'm going to give you today. So I challenge you to give this your undivided attention. And if you are listening while you're busy, then listen, but then come back to it in a little bit later when you got time to actually take notes, because you need to take notes. Okay, my coffee's really good today. You go, Sherry. All right, here's the top 5 signs that your mindset challenges are costing you cash. Number 1 is you are insecure about talking about fees or prices. All right, now there's a difference between being insecure and not liking talking about fees and prices. I'm not telling you that you have to like talking about fees and prices, because most people don't like talking about fees and prices. All right, so it's okay if you don't like it. However, there's a difference between not liking it and being insecure about it. Because if you are insecure having a discussion about your fees or your prices, that insecurity translates and manifests through your conversation, and the person that you're talking to can absolutely feel it. And if you are insecure talking about anything about your business, including prices, the person you're talking to is insecure about your ability to deliver it, because they can't assess where that lack of confidence is coming from. They don't know that the lack of confidence is just that you just don't like talking about prices. They could associate your lack of confidence in your lack of confidence in your ability to deliver your service to them. Sometimes it's the fear that they will say no, with this insecurity that you have, and sometimes it's the fear that they're going to say yes, but then be disappointed in working with you. And I'll say this too, that fear doesn't just appear in newer coaches or in entrepreneurs. I've heard experienced, successful business owners express that same anxiety or insecurity to me, even when they've performed at a high level for years. It's one of the biggest challenges in creating a consistent high dollar revenue generating business, is the challenge that unfortunately doesn't really have a strategic solution. This insecurity of pricing, right? It's pure mindset work. And it's non-negotiable. You've got to work past this. The biggest piece of advice that I would give you in this one is to always remember that you are not your client's financial advisor. Unless you actually are a financial advisor and that's the service that you sell. If you're not professionally a financial advisor, it is not your job, listen to me y'all, it is not your job to determine what your clients can and can't pay for or what they would or would not be willing to pay for. That's not your job. You don't have to figure out their bank account. You don't have to figure out their finances. That's not your job. Everybody put that in the chat stream. That's not my job. It's not your job. Your job is to be the service provider that you are, the best at what you do. Your job is to identify their need and confidently present your solution unwavering. You don't have to figure out what it is that they're going to be willing to pay for. And then you're like, well, Justin, but... you know, you don't understand my type of audience. You don't understand the type of people that tend to be attracted to me. None of them have money. Okay. It's still not your job. Your job is to be confidently unwavering in your solutions, in your process, and being a good steward of delivering what you are the best at. Like, you know, I used to wrestle with this, is why I bring it up. I used to always be trying to adapt my pricing based upon how I felt a customer felt about me, or whether they, you know, could or couldn't afford me, or whatever. And what it ends up doing is it absolutely ends up forcing you to devalue what you actually do. But just the insecurity in your tone comes through. I love that Tasha said I fired myself from that position this year. Love that. Yenya, good morning to you. This is what I want you to get. I'm just gonna try to give this to you as simple as possible with this one. If you are someone who struggles with talking about fees or prices, you need to get through your mind that it doesn't matter who the Lord brings across your path. Your job is to deliver the service or the value or the product or the information that you are designed to give, right? So for me, I am a startup business coach. I help those of y'all that are amazing entrepreneurs that have ideas and gifts and abilities and talents, and you want to build a business from it. My gift is to help you establish a clear vision for who your business, what your business is, and what you want to build. Give you process and technique and tools to go and build that thing, and then teach you how to use those process, technique, and tools so you can go out and you can run that business and earn wealth doing exactly what you're called to do. That's my gift. That is what I do. All right. That is, and I take that incredibly important, that the Lord gave me this gift. He gave me this ability, and I want to be a good steward of it. So when someone comes across my plate, if you are a new client that's having a conversation with me and you're trying to figure out how you can work with me, you say, Justin, how can I work with you? My job is to tell you what I believe you need and give you your best shot at being successful. Listen to me. My goal is for you to be successful. My goal is for you to thrive. My goal is to give you everything that you need to build this business. Realistically, I'm going to give you the tools that you need. I'm going to give you the structure you need. I'm going to give you the training that you need. I'm going to give you the guidance that you need so that you can take that gift that God planted inside of you, build a business from it, and go out and live your dream life. That is what I am supposed to do. Now, that costs money. Now, I am not, if I'm insecure about my pricing, if I feel someone's going to reach out to me, if I feel like someone's going to reach out to me, and then I form this opinion in my mind that they may not be able to afford the service that I provide, then what'll happen is I'll either shortchange myself, offering them my premium service at a much lower rate, which is doing a disservice to myself and my family, or I'm going to lower my service to a price that they can afford, but that may not be what they need. It may not be enough. However you look at this, do not associate your price with your service when you are making a recommendation to someone. You want to tell them what your best shot is. And let's just talk through this a little bit, because there's a lot that goes into this pricing thing. All right. If someone tells me, Justin, I want to do this, and this, I've been stalling for so long, I've been procrastinating so long, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to move. Can you tell me how I can work with you? Yes. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is I'm going to give you my absolute best recommendation based upon not what I believe you can afford. I'm going to tell you what I believe you need. If you could afford anything that I can provide, I'm not going to tell you the most expensive thing that I have. I'm going to tell you what I absolutely believe you need. Some cases I have had people where I felt like they don't need my premium branding package. They just need 12 weeks of coaching just to coach them through what they have already built. Some people, they're at the ground floor, but they're going to be overwhelmed with all these bells and whistles. So I need to start them with stages. I'm going to give them one stage to work with for 2 months. We'll get past that. Once we're done with there, then we can move up, right? So I'll make recommendations based upon who I'm talking to, but I always, listen to me, whenever I am working with someone and the conversation about pricing comes up, I always make the best recommendation that I feel fits them for where they are and what they need. And then that recommendation costs this much money. Period. So I don't make my recommendation based upon what you can afford. I'm not like, well, they can probably spend $1,000, so let me see what I can do for $1,000. No, this is the recommendation that I have. Yeah, I always start here. This is the recommendation that I have. This is what I believe you need. This costs this much. How does that feel to you? And then they'll tell you, that's perfect. I can do that. Great. Let's get started. Or they'll say, man, that's more than what I can do. Okay. Well, we can, if we need to, we can slow the pace down a little bit. I could break this up into payments. So where I maybe if I normally were to get this done in 3 months, maybe we could stretch it out to 5 months. We would slow our pace a little bit, but we could still do all these steps, which I think would be necessary for you. And that would give you a smaller monthly payment. How would that feel to you? I could do that. Let's do that. Perfect. Or someone might say, that's just way too much. All right, well, this is what I would recommend then. This is the program that I recommend. This is the price, is what it costs. But I don't want you to sit stagnant and not doing anything simply because you can't come up with that fee right now. So what are your thoughts on just taking the first stage of this process? It would cost this much. What if could you invest this much? Yes, I could spend that much. I could spend, $800 or $500. All right, let's start there. Let's work on first stage. That would give us like 30 days of work. What if we start there, you make that investment, I'll start working on doing the first steps that we would normally do anyway, even if you bought the whole thing, and that would give you 30 days to see if you can come up with the rest of that investment. How does that feel to you? That feels perfect. Let's do that. I don't say this is what I would recommend. It costs X much. And they're like, well, Jess, that's just way too much. And I'm like, all right, well, could you do, a little lower? Could you do this much? I would never lower my fee for someone because they tell me they can't afford it. You just break down your steps and make, again, every recommendation that I make is based upon serving you. Okay? Hopefully that's helpful. I don't want to spend this entire broadcast talking about pricing, but I want to help you through that. And that is one of the biggest things that is stopping people from attracting clients and earning wealth, is that you are insecure talking about fees and pricing. And the reason why you're insecure talking about fees and pricing is because you have limiting beliefs around your value. You have limiting beliefs around your value, and you have limiting beliefs around the person that you're talking to and what they're willing to pay for. It is not your job to determine what they would and would not be willing to pay for. Do not also, I'll say this too, do not project your feelings and your opinions about money onto your potential client. All right? Just because you wouldn't put $3,000 on a credit card for coaching does not mean that they wouldn't. Just because you would not sign a contract to pay $500 a month for a year does not mean that they wouldn't. Just because that you wouldn't pay 10 grand to be a part of a mastermind does not mean that they wouldn't. You'd be surprised what people would and would not be willing to pay for. So do not project your feelings and limiting beliefs and opinions about money onto your audience. Let them come to their own conclusion and their own solution for what they can afford, what they will pay for, and how they're going to get that financing. It is only your job to deliver your service. Yeah, Paul just said on Facebook, I had to ask myself, do I believe in my product? Absolute game changer. And believability is so important. I'm so glad you said that, Paul. Cheers to Paul for that comment. I'm so glad you said that, because listen, one of the absolute number one factors to really being able to earn a tremendous amount of wealth as an entrepreneur is being believable. Everybody put believable in the chat stream. Believable. Would you say I'm believable? Do you have any doubt whatsoever that I am 1000% confident in the service that I provide? I mean, am I ever unwavering in even in my content? Like, every time I show up for you, I am 1000% confident in what I'm doing. I am believable. I have to be. You have to have a resolve about you. I kind of look at it as, y'all, I kind of look at it as, you got to have a bit of an attitude about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not, everybody's different. Everybody's personality is different. But people need to see you and listen to you and watch you and engage with you and be like, that is my person. That is the person that is going to help me, because I believe without a shadow of a doubt that they can serve me in this need that I have. 100%, Daniel. Absolutely. I love that you declare that and claim that on yourself. Declare that for yourself and make that a commitment and a mission. You have got to be believable in everything that you do, in every conversation that you have. And if you have insecurities about talking about fees and pricing, you are not believable. Okay? That's number one. I promise you I'm not going to spend 20 minutes on each of these points, but that first one was a big one. We got to tackle it. Number two, again, we're talking about the no money mindset, 5 signs that your mindset is costing you cash. Cheers. I love y'all. I love my coffee. I love my coffee with y'all. I love cheersing with my coffee and with y'all. Y'all are amazing, and I love you. Number two, online marketing feels confusing and overwhelming to you. This is your second mindset block. Most startup entrepreneurs don't enjoy marketing. And when you add the tech component of online marketing, it can get complicated. However, confusion and overwhelm are emotions that do not serve you. There's one powerful strategic thing that you can do to help with this. I challenge you, when it comes to marketing and it comes to social media and the way you put your business out there, I challenge you to make a list of all the things that you feel like you actually need to do with your online marketing. I'm talking about the crucial results producing tasks, the things that you know are an absolute essential. Like for me, for example, one of the things that is a part of my marketing is my live videos that I do every weekday morning at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is an absolute non-negotiable. I've been doing this for years. It's core fundamentals of my brand and business to show up and give you content every day, right? But then a part of this is not just a matter of showing up at 8 o'clock every morning. It's the writing the content, preparing all of this content for you. It's creating the freemiums for my website. It's creating space in my schedule to have conversations with leads, right? There's specific things that have to happen in my marketing. So I'm talking about the crucial results producing things that I've been teaching you guys for years. Make a list of those things. Actually grab an actual pen or a notebook or something and make a list. When it comes to marketing, this is what I actually have to do. These are the things that I feel like I actually need to do on a weekly basis. The reason why I'm challenging you to write it down is because oftentimes overwhelm and confusion, again, two emotions that do not serve you, overwhelm and confusion is often a result of having too much in your head and not down on paper where you can actually make a strategic plan. When you release that pressure from your head and you put it down into a written list, it will reduce the stress and it will make it easier to start moving forward. You've got to find a way to reduce all the, because really what overwhelm boils down to in the case of marketing, when you're overwhelmed with your marketing and you're overwhelmed with social media, it's usually because you feel like you're not doing enough and there's more that you should be doing, but you don't have a plan written down in front of you for what that actually looks like. So you just get up in the morning feeling like, I gotta market my business today, but do I go to Facebook? Do I do an Instagram? Do I write a blog? Do I do a video? Who's gonna see anything? I guess I'll just make a post. And you go make some happenstance post with no thought or strategy behind it, and then you don't get a whole bunch of interactions, and then you're like, well, nobody even likes my stuff anyway. I guess I won't do anything else today. And then tomorrow you do the same thing. And then you're like, I don't know what you're doing. If you're overwhelmed with your marketing, it's probably because you're lacking strategy. Strategy brings clarity. Clarity brings confidence. Okay? When you actually map out and actually create a plan, you create a strategy, you know what you're doing and why and where, and you commit to something that you actually know you can keep up with in your schedule. When you create a plan and you create a strategy, all of a sudden you'll get clarity. When you get clarity on something, you get confident in it. And confident is the backbone of being believable. All right? So, strategy, very important. Get it out of your head, get it down on paper. The third thing, money mindset block that is costing you cash, is you are not entirely comfortable with social media and being visible. You are not entirely comfortable with social media and with being visible. Sometimes this is due to fears of just being visibility, of visibility, such as the fear that you'll be criticized or that you'll be attacked in some way. Sometimes the fear is around a loss of privacy. I've dealt with this with clients where they're like, I don't want to put myself out there because of my kids or because of, whatever. All right. You're gonna have to challenge yourself to get past this. The truth is that in order to be good on social media, you need to be experienced, and experience comes through practice. You don't get good at anything unless you practice it. And if you're not continually practice it, you're never going to get to the level that you want to get to be comfortable enough on social media to market yourself effectively and attract paying clients online. You've got to overcome. It's a fear of man. That's what it is. It's a fear of man. And I know this because I used to deal with it. I've got people that tell me they're worried about the privacy. Honestly, I think privacy is an excuse. There's something deeper than that. There's something that bigger than that, than you're using privacy as an excuse. Other people, one of your issues is that you're afraid of putting yourself out there to the world, because it's not the world. I'm just going to read somebody's mail right here real quick. It's not the world that you're afraid of. It's the people in your own hometown that you're afraid of. It is your family. It is your high school friends. It is the people that know you. It's the people that know the junk in your life. And all of a sudden you're trying to level up and set up and build new and become someone you've never been before and build a business. And you've got doubters and you've got haters, and the people that see you, that know you, know the old you. That's the problem. You got people in your life that know the old you. And as soon as you put yourself out there on the world and on the web, the people that know the old you are going to see this new you, and they're going to doubt that. And they're going to criticize that. And they're going to wonder, what the heck does she think she's doing? Or what the heck does he think he's doing? And what makes him qualified to do that? And who does he, what are they doing? But I'll tell you this, that's a necessary step in your journey. And I will tell you that majority of those fears and insecurities and thoughts that you have around that exist only in your mind. The thing is, people are so self-centered and so focused on themselves, they're not paying attention to what you're doing. You go out there and you're like, oh wow, so-and-so's doing that, but I'm going to go worry about my day. Most of those fears exist only in your mind. It's an insecurity that you have to break past. And I had to do that myself, y'all. Listen, I got the same junk you got. I got the same background you got. I went through the same thing where I left my corporate job, where I had a high level of respect and influence in the corporate job that I had. I lost that job and decided to start my own business. And the number of people that told me in my first year, why don't you just get a real job? For years, my family thought I just played on social media every day. They didn't nobody had, I still got family members of mine that don't have a clue what I actually do. That's okay. Because God didn't give them the vision he has for me. He gave it to me. And it's my job to execute it, not theirs. I don't need their belief in me to go out and do what I need to do. You need to get past that. Because if you allow that fear and that insecurity to hold on to you while you try to build your business, it'll hold on to you forever. You've got to release that. That is a mindset issue. And unfortunately, there's no easy way to break past that one. The best way to break past that one is just to put yourself out there and start doing it. Spoiler alert, not everybody's going to like you. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with criticism. You have to be okay with the fact that not everybody's going to think that you are the fresh cut slice of bread in the morning. Not everybody's going to think that your stuff is valuable. Not everybody's going to think what you're doing is a good idea. That's okay. God didn't give them your vision. He gave it to you. He gave you your purpose. He gave you your assignment. He told you to go out and do it. Jesus couldn't even preach in his own hometown. He didn't say it's going to be easy. He gave you the assignment. Get out and do your assignment. Experience comes through practice. Number 3 is you're not entirely comfortable with social media. The only way that you can get comfortable is to get out there and start practicing and realizing, you know what? This is not all that bad. And I'm going to be okay. And the people that don't like it don't need to be in my life. And if you got people that are a negative influence on you, then put up some boundaries and release them from your presence. All right, which is going to bring me up to number 4. Number 4 is you've got people that push your boundaries and you allow it. You got people that push your boundaries and you allow it. This is costing you cash. Often when you are starting out or you're trying to get into a certain revenue level, the last thing you want to do is fire a client or cut the tie on a potential lead, right? Or say no to an opportunity, feeling like an opportunity to earn money will walk away, or that a potential client may stop paying you. So there's a couple elements of this. You're gonna have people. You're listen, and some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You're gonna have people that try to get the free as much as possible, all the free stuff that you do, and then they're gonna try to push the boundary. And every opportunity that you give, they're gonna take. They're gonna take, and they're gonna take, and they're gonna keep taking, and they're gonna keep taking, and they've never paid you a dime. And you're thinking to yourself, well, this is a lead that I'm cultivating. This is someone that that's eventually going to hire me. I don't want to give up on them. I don't want to cut the tie on them, because what if they're just about ready to hire me? Givers need to set boundaries because takers rarely do. And those people in your life are called leeches, and they will suck the life out of you for as long as you allow them to do so. I will tell you this from firsthand experience in myself and on so many of my clients. The people that pay you the least will demand the most. Not all clients are good clients, and not all money is good money. You also cannot be afraid to fire a client. I have done it multiple times. And it's yeah. Firing a client is liberating, all right? Paul just said on Facebook, why would I buy, someone reached out to him apparently, why would I buy your book? We're homies. My response, I charge family and homies more. Right? I mean, and the thing is, you got to realize, as soon as you start making exceptions for people, they remember it, and then they keep coming back, and they expect the exception all the time. All right? The other aspect of clients with boundary issues is that they take up an enormous amount of your energy and usually your time, which is your most valuable resource. Again, not all clients are good clients. Not all money is good money. One thing that is helpful in getting clients, I want to give you, practical wisdom with each of these points, all right? So the thing that I would recommend with this one in recommending and how to get clients to accept boundaries is to be sure to state them without defensiveness or apology. That's so important. I've heard of people being like, Justin, I'm trying to set boundaries, and I'm like, well, tell me how that went. And they're like, well, I sent them an email. I apologize for not being able to do what they were asking me to do, but I just told them this is how I work. And I'm like, no, do not apologize for your boundaries. Y'all get that? Y'all awake out there? Do not apologize for your boundaries. This is the important piece of getting people to respect them and leave them alone and not try to push them. If you apologize or if you are defensive about your boundaries, they feel like you don't necessarily agree with them, and they'll continue to try to push them. For example, one of the boundaries that I have is that I do not respond to messages on the weekends. Period. To anybody. Client or non-client, nobody. I don't, and I used to, But I don't. I tell you, if on Friday night, Friday night becomes family night. My weekends is family time. If you send me a message past 5 o'clock on Friday night, I'll receive the message, but you will not get a response from me until Monday morning. You have to be so careful with that. I have had to be so careful with that because obviously I still got my phone. I'm still doing things, so messages come through and I see them, and I tell people, you can, if you text me on the weekend, it's fine. You can send me a message in the middle of the night if you don't want to. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I will very likely see your message. I might even read it over the weekend, but I will not respond until Monday morning. So don't look for a response from me. If you send me a message after 5 o'clock on Friday, do not expect a response until Monday morning. That's a boundary. The minute for that particular example, the minute I respond to someone on a weekend, it's like, oh, Justin is available on the weekend. That's what happens. As soon as I respond to someone, what happens? They'll send me a quick text on like a Saturday afternoon, and I'll see, I'm like, I can quick answer, and I'll answer them back. And what happens? You answer them back, and then the rest of the weekend they're texting me messages like crazy the rest of the weekend because, oh, now he's available. Whatever your boundary is, you need to. I am unapologetic about that. I tell usually a brand new client, as soon as I acquire a brand new client, it's right in my contract. I do not take messages on the weekend. I've got a strict policy about no call, no show. If you no call, no show with me, if you're more than 15 minutes late, I'll send you an invoice for $200 and you will pay me $200 for the no call, no show. If I got someone that's on a call, one of my client calls, maybe it's someone that's already paid me, maybe it's somebody that's paid me a lump sum contract or a monthly fee. If we get on a Zoom call together, I will wait 5 minutes. If you're not there in 5 minutes, I'll message you at the 5-minute mark, check in with you, make sure you remembered, and then I will wait for 15 minutes. If I'm there 15 minutes past our scheduled time and you have not joined yet, the meeting is forfeit and you lost that Zoom and I'm out and I'm getting back to work on something else. I'm not going to sit here and wait for you. Unless there is an absolute extenuating circumstance that you can explain, I don't sit and wait, right? Those are boundaries. I'm not gonna let people waste my time, because if I let people show up late on every call, guess what? They'll show up late on every call. You've got to have boundaries in place. So if you are someone who is allowing people to push your boundaries, this may be costing you cash, and it may be that you've got people it might be clients that you need to fire because they're just not going to be a good fit for you, because they're just constantly trying to test the boundaries and the limits that you have. You might have some people that are draining your time and energy. No matter who it is, no matter how it is, if you've got people that are pushing your boundaries, those are people that probably just need to be fired from your life to make room for the right people to come in. All right? Very important. That's number 4. Number 5, the last one I'm going to give you, is that you're not making the money that you want to make in your business. All right, we're talking again today about no money mindset. 5 signs that your mindset is costing you cash. The 5th one, it does, Paul. I'll tell you, Paul said it feels so good to fire. It's very liberating when you've had someone that's just a drain on you and you know it, and you finally get enough self-respect to realize, I don't have to tolerate this. I can let you go, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that we're just not a good fit, and you need to probably go find someone else who will put up with your bullcrap. Cheers, y'all. Cheers and good morning to you. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this morning. All right. Number 5, you're not making the money that you want to make in your business. This is the final indication that mindset issues are at work. There may also be strategic issues at work, like a misunderstanding of marketing, or a misunderstanding of sales, or not having a clearly defined offer in place, or not having, business tools in place. However, the more likely issue is that there is a combination of mindset challenges at work. It might be challenges around sales, money, and maybe your rates are too low. Maybe your marketing is ineffective or inconsistent. One of those things, all these different things can all conspire to keep your revenue and income at a far less level than what you really want it to be. One way to start shifting this is to ask yourself, what is one change that I could make? And if I was able to successfully make that change, it would start bringing in significantly more revenue. Try to think about all the stuff that I've talked through this morning. And if you're not sure where to start, but this number 5, you're like, yeah, I'm not making the money I want to be making in my business. There's something stopping you. So it might be one of the first 4 things, or it might be a combination of them, or it might have been a little bit of the in between conversation that I have. But whatever it is, I challenge you to identify at least one thing. If you could change one significant thing, what would that be that would start helping you bring in significant more revenue? And then whatever that thing is, figure it out. Work on that. It might be just to be a matter of things like being visible. Like, I'm going to discipline myself to push past this. Justin challenged me with it. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to get visible. I'm going to get out on my pages, and I'm going to start showing the world what I have to offer. That might be your first step. Some of you guys might need to talk to a coach. You might need to hire somebody. Some of you guys may need help with something. You might need strategy, whatever that is. Majority of what I gave you this morning is work you can do on your own. All right? Majority of this is work that you can do on your own. But if you need help, reach out to me. Also, just a quick FYI before I let you go, Randy. I see you, buddy. Good morning, man. A quick FYI and reminder: I'm currently offering free website and branding reviews analysis to anybody who wants one. Obviously, not current clients, because current clients, I'm working on your branding and your website. But anyone who's got a website or a brand and you're like, it's not working, Justin. I'm struggling to generate revenue. I'm struggling to build my list. You know, I got some things off, not sure what I should do or how I should do it. If you want me to do a free branding and website analysis for you, I would love to look at all your stuff, and I'll make recommendations. I'll tell you what you can be doing to generate leads better, build a list, generate more revenue, be more consistent and effective in your marketing and your branding messaging. I'd love to take a look at it. You can go to my website, justincapponpro.com. You'll see right at the top of the page, you can sign up for one of those free reviews, and I would love to take a look at your stuff and help you get some more results, all right? Y'all are awesome, and I appreciate you. I know 40 minutes of your time is so valuable, so I appreciate you spending your time with me this morning. Cheers and good morning to you. Hope your Wednesday is amazing. Be intentional with your time today, y'all. Be intentional with the talent that you have. Be intentional with the gifting that you have. Get about those goals, and I will see you guys all around the web, right? Take care and God bless y'all. See y'all later.